I woke up that morning excited, genuinely excited. I don't get to say that often. My birthday was coming up, and for the first time in years, I had something planned, an actual party. Small, just 5 people. But 5 people who meant something to me. My mom, Carla, my stepdad, Rick, my best friend, Miles, and my girlfriend, Alina. I was proud of myself for pulling it together. Cleaned the apartment, ordered catering, bought decorations, even made a playlist. Then I checked my phone. A single message from my mom. No one's coming to your party. Grow up. That was it. No explanation. No apology. Just that. I read it again, thinking maybe it was a joke. It wasn't. No one else texted. No happy birthday in advance. No confirmation. Nothing. Just that cold, dismissive text from the woman who gave birth to me. I sat on the edge of my bed, staring at the message. My fingers hovered over the screen, thinking of what to reply. I typed why and deleted it. I typed seriously and deleted that too. There was no point. I knew what she meant. I've been the butt of the joke in this family for years. Ever since I was a kid, she called me overdramatic, too sensitive. Not built for the real world. And now she capped it off with that. I canceled the party within the hour, texted the caterers, tossed the decorations in the trash, turned off the music. I didn't cry. I think I passed that stage years ago. But I felt hollow, not angry, yet just empty. Like everything I built, everything I thought mattered to me, was a carefully crafted lie, and someone finally flicked the switch. What got me wasn't just the text. It was the silence that followed. Rick didn't say a word. Miles, who swore we were brothers for life, hadn't texted me in 2 days. And Alina, she just sent a thumbs-up emoji when I told her I was canceling. Not even a why. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept asking myself what I did wrong. Was I boring? Did I push them away? Did I make everything about me? I scrolled through old photos, birthday parties with cheap cakes and fake smiles. Carla always looked like she was doing me a favor by being there. Rick always stood behind her, unreadable. Miles always had that grin, like he was in on a joke I wasn't. Alina? She looked perfect in pictures. Always so affectionate. But in real life, lately, she'd been distant. Around 2 a.m., I got up and went to the kitchen for water. Alina had left her phone charging on the counter. I wasn't snooping. I swear I wasn't. But it lit up when I passed by and I saw the name. Rick. I froze. The preview showed part of the message. Same time tomorrow? I stared at it for a full minute. I wanted to believe it was innocent. Maybe they were planning something. Maybe they had a surprise planned. But deep down, something in my chest sank. I picked up the phone and opened the thread. There were no emojis, no pet names, just sharp, familiar tension in every message. The kind of tension you don't share with someone unless there's something going on. Rick had texted her every day for the past 2 weeks. Sometimes late at night, sometimes in the morning. Always vague, always private. I didn't scream. I didn't confront her. I just stood there in the dark, holding her phone like it was burning a hole in my hand. And that's when I felt something shift in me. Something snap. They thought I was weak. They thought I'd just take it. Again, I didn't cancel the party because I was defeated. I canceled it because I realized I'd been throwing the wrong kind of party all along. Maybe this year, I wouldn't be the one holding the knife in my back. Maybe this year, I'd be the one handing them the cake, with a fuse inside. The next morning, I watched Alina get ready like nothing had happened. She kissed my cheek, asked if I was okay about the party, then left for yoga. I waited 5 minutes before opening her laptop. She always used the same password. Her birth year and her dog's name. I wasn't proud of it, but I needed answers. What I found wasn't just confirmation. It was worse than I imagined. Her messages with Rick went back months. It started with small compliments, then drinks, then nights at conferences, pictures, one video, my stepdad, my girlfriend, my home. I couldn't stop reading. He called her beautiful distraction. She said he was the only one who listened. I wanted to be sick, but I wasn't even at the bottom of the rabbit hole. I remembered seeing her text Miles a lot lately. I thought it was about helping with my party. I was wrong. Opened their chat. More messages. No photos, but suggestive enough. Flirting. Late night chats. One from her. Jordan would freak if he knew. His reply. Let him. Kid's too soft anyway. That one hit harder than anything Rick ever said. That was my best friend. Someone I told everything to. I backed up everything. Screenshotted the chats. Saved videos. Compiled it into a folder called Candles. I wasn't sure why I named it that. Maybe because something was about to burn. Then I checked Carla. She hadn't even opened my birthday invite. But something nagged me, Miles. He talked to her a lot more than I ever noticed. I pulled up their text next. At first, it was normal, small talk. But as the weeks went on, things changed. Carla would rant about me. Jordan's a disappointment, she wrote. He should have been stronger by now. Miles didn't disagree. He added fuel. He still cries when things get tough. Just like in school. She laughed. Said he never really fit in. It was surreal. My own mother mocking me to my best friend. My girlfriend involved with my stepdad and maybe Miles. All four of them connected by secrets. And I was the idiot holding the thread. I wasn't sad anymore. I was focused. They all thought they were playing me, working around me like I was blind. But I saw them now, clear as day. Rick pretending to care about family. Carla looking down on me from her perfect house. Alina acting like she loved me. Miles smiling, knowing everything. They thought I wouldn't find out. They thought I'd crumble. But I wasn't going to cry. I wasn't going to yell. I wasn't going to beg anyone to stay. That's what they expected. That's how they saw me. Predictable, weak, emotional. Not this time. I had everything I needed. Every message, every screenshot, every line neatly organized and ready. I started mapping it out. Who would break first? Who cared about reputation the most? Who had the most to lose? Carla had her social circle. Rick had his corporate image. Miles had his friendships. Alina? She only cared about appearances. I didn't have to fight them. I just had to let them destroy each other. With the truth, the old me would have walked away. The old me would have thought revenge made me just like them. But this wasn't petty. This was a reckoning. They needed to know what it felt like to be stripped bare. To realize someone had seen every angle of their betrayal and smile back. They forgot I was watching. They forgot I remembered everything. This wasn't about forgiveness. It was about revelation. The kind that comes quietly. The kind that knocks on the door not with fists, but with facts. And they were about to get all of them. Not in anger. Not in chaos. Just perfectly delivered. Like a gift they didn't know they ordered. And I was the one bringing it to their table. I acted normal. That was the hardest part. I texted each of them and said the party was back on. Told them I overreacted and wanted to make things right. One by one, they agreed. Carla replied, "Glad you're growing up." Rick said, "Proud of you." Miles sent a thumbs up. Alina just wrote, "Cool." They were walking into it blind. That gave me all the satisfaction I needed. I spent the next 2 days setting everything up, ordered new food, cleaned the place again, and bought a projector. I didn't tell them about that part. I created a presentation titled Gratitude. Inside, slide by slide, I placed screenshots of texts. Carla's mockery, Miles' betrayal, Alina's affair, Rick's disgusting comments. Every lie, every secret, every smile behind my back, all in high resolution. I added voiceovers for each section, my voice reading their words, emotionless. I wanted them to hear what they sounded like without excuses. I timed each clip, so their names would appear just before their words lit the screen. I made sure the truth would hit them exactly how it hit me, suddenly, violently, and with no room to look away. Then I did something extra. I created a group chat with all 5 of us and sent anonymous messages to each of them from a separate number. Different lines. "You sure he doesn't know? Better keep your mouth shut. He's watching." I knew paranoia would start to grow. Alina asked if I was okay. Miles called, but I let it ring out. Carla sent a voice note telling me to stop being dramatic. Rick didn't respond at all. I wanted them to stew. I wanted them to walk in thinking they were safe, that I had swallowed everything like usual. But this time, I wasn't hiding the knife in my back. I was holding it. I had the whole setup rehearsed. First, they'd walk into the sound of old photos playing on loop. I even included happy memories, just to soften them before the drop. Then, the slideshow would begin. I didn't need to say anything. My voice on the recordings would do the talking. Their words, not mine. They had no idea I'd also synced it to a live stream. Private but shareable. I'd picked the right people. Carla's book club friends, Rick's co-workers, a few old classmates Miles still hung out with, and Alina's family, the same people they bragged to, the ones they needed to maintain their perfect lives. I set up my camera in the corner, motion triggered. So when they sat down, it would catch every reaction, not for public shaming, just for me. I wanted to see it. I deserved that much. After years of being dismissed, laughed at, ignored, I earned the right to see the moment the masks cracked. The old version of me would have doubted this, would have asked if revenge was worth it. But this wasn't just revenge. It was correction. I wasn't destroying anything that hadn't already rotted. I was just pulling back the curtain. They'd fooled me long enough, played nice to my face while taking turns gunning me behind my back. They thought I was weak, that I wouldn't fight, that I'd forgive like always. Not this time. This party wasn't for me anymore. It was theirs, every detail tailored to them. The food they liked, the music they played, the smiles they faked. The only difference was now, the truth would be louder than any toast they ever raised. And when it was over, I wouldn't need to say a word. I'd already given them everything they gave me, just wrapped differently. They arrived one by one, exactly on time. Alina came first, kissed my cheek like nothing was wrong. Carla showed up with a bottle of wine, already judging the lighting. Rick walked in wearing the same smug face he wore at my high school graduation. Miles came last, acting like he hadn't ignored my call for weeks. They greeted each other like they were strangers meeting at a networking event. Polite, fake, calculated. No one asked why I changed my mind. No one asked how I felt. They just took their seats. I kept everything moving. Passed out drinks. Light conversation. No tension. They didn't notice the projector already on. Pause on the first slide. Alina complimented the candles. Carla said the place looked decent for once. Rick asked about my job like he hadn't told Alina I was a failure. Miles kept watching me like he expected a breakdown. I stood up, thanked them for coming, and said I wanted to show them something. That's when I hit play. At first, they were confused. Smiles froze. The first slide was just words. Carla's words. He was a mistake. Should have stopped after my first kid. Her voice echoed from the speaker. Miles chuckled nervously, but Carla's face drained. Then came the texts, her chats with Miles, her disgust at who I turned out to be, the way she mocked my therapy sessions. I didn't look at her. I just watched them squirm. The next slide belonged to Rick. A video, him sitting shirtless, his voice saying Alina's name, complimenting her. Then came the messages. You deserve better than that boy. He's just a phase. Alina gasped, but I wasn't done. Her slide followed. Her replies. The pictures she sent. Her plans to move on once I grew out my attachment. Her betrayal was threaded through every line, every emoji. Then Miles. His smug comments. His chats with Alina. His mockery. Let him think we're still close. Makes things easier. Silence fell like a curtain. No one moved. No one breathed. I let it run into the last frame, a photo of the five of us, smiling at my last birthday, layered with the words, You were never invited to love me. Alina stood first. She tried to explain, said it wasn't what it looked like. I asked her which part, Rick's hand on her waist, or her calling me pathetic behind my back. She went pale. Rick told me I was overreacting. I asked him if the affair was before or after he told me I'd never be a man. Carla started to cry, said I embarrass her. I told her she did that herself when she called me a burden in front of strangers. Miles didn't say a word, just stood there, jaw tight, fists clenched, ashamed but too proud to admit it. I handed each of them an envelope. Inside were flash drives containing every file. I said nothing more, just walked out to the kitchen, leaving them to face the collapse. Carla followed me, said family forgives. I told her family doesn't forget either. Rick tried to play the victim. I reminded him he slept with the girl I was planning to marry. Miles tried to apologize. I told him brothers don't burn each other for fun. And Alina? She just stared, no words left. They left, one after another, the same way they entered, separately, quietly, and with nothing to say. I didn't shout. I didn't gloat. I didn't need to. They knew exactly what they did. And now they knew I did too. I cleaned up after they were gone, threw away their untouched wine, deleted the group chat, lit a candle from the table, watched the wax melt. There was no more weight in my chest. Just space. Not peace, not yet, but something better than pain. Clarity. The fallout was instant. The next morning, my phone blew up, not with apologies, but damage control. Carla begged me to delete the files. Claimed her charity board would tear her apart if it got out. I said nothing. She sent voice notes crying. Said she only wanted what was best for me, that she was scared I'd become too emotional. I left her on read. Rick's assistant emailed me from his company account. Said there had been a misunderstanding. Asked if we could meet and resolve this like men. I forwarded it to Alina's dad, who used to work with Rick, and once told him to let him know if anything ever felt off. He called me 10 minutes later and said, "All makes sense now." Alina texted every few hours. At first, it was denial, then begging, then blame. "You ruined my life." No, I corrected her silently. She did. I didn't reply. Not once. I wasn't going to hand her the satisfaction of knowing how deeply she had wounded me, because she didn't. Not anymore. Miles sent one line. We both said things we didn't mean. I laughed at that one. It was the first real laugh I'd had in weeks. I replied, "You said what you meant." I just finally heard it. What surprised me most wasn't how quickly they scattered. It was how quickly the rest of the world turned. Carla lost 2 sponsors within 3 days. Someone leaked screenshots. Not me. I didn't need to. People talk when they see blood. Rick took a leave from work. He told everyone it was for family matters. Alina's social media went dark. Comments filled with vague accusations. Her sister texted me and said she always knew something was off. Miles got quieter. Our mutual friends slowly stopped tagging him. One sent me a message. "You deserve better." It was the closest thing to justice I'd felt in a long time. But I didn't gloat. I didn't make posts. I didn't tell anyone what I did. That was part of the real revenge. How quiet it was. No fireworks. No chaos. Just consequences, delivered in cold silence. The kind they couldn't control or outmaneuver. The best part? I didn't just get rid of them. I replaced them. I started talking to people who actually showed up when I needed them. Old classmates I thought had forgotten me. A co-worker who once said I had potential. They saw what happened and reached out. Not for gossip, for support. And I let them in. I started running again. Cooking my own meals. Go to therapy without shame. I didn't need to prove anything to anyone anymore. Not to Carla. Not to Rick. Not to a girl who couldn't even fake love properly. And definitely not to a best friend who only stood beside me to feel taller. For once, I wasn't performing. I was living, free of the weight of their judgment, their manipulation, their expectations. I didn't need a party to feel celebrated. I didn't need candles to feel lit up. I didn't need applause to feel right. I just needed truth. And I had it now. They'll recover. Maybe they'll rewrite the story in their heads. Turn themselves into victims. Say I was unstable, irrational, ungrateful. Let them. They'll never speak the full truth, because doing so would mean admitting what they did. But I don't need their admission. I have their words. I have their actions. I have their silence. And that silence, it speaks louder than anything else.